I said, well, I'm gonna wear this little skirt while I can. Hey, man, I hit 55. I don't know if I can slow. All right. You see me?
Testing. All right.
I have one with both of them, and I'll just give a group shot with her family, and then maybe do something with everybody and stuff.
1, 2, 3.
So how long? I've been here for a long time, right? How many? Very nice. I'm very good. I'm good with most of the shots. And other beautiful things. One more. Headshot.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Welcome back. Welcome back. That charter question tested how a mayor acts when authority is limited. And your next question asks, what candidate would choose to examine when the authority to review by a current city operation. So a new mayor does not begin with a blank city government. The next administration will inherit programs that are already operating, projects that may still be unfinished, contracts that may extend to the next term, grants or restricted funds that can only be used for certain purposes, department practices, property decisions, and public claims about work that has already been completed. For example, a candidate might choose to review water completion and property restoration, a city contract or the use of a grant or restricted fund. Surveillance technology, a department's, I apologize, let me start that over. For example, a candidate might choose to review water completion and property restoration, a city contract, the use of a grant or restricted fund, the sale or transfer of city property, an appointment process, surveillance technology, a department response process, or another clearly identified city operation. You're not required to choose from that list, but you must name one specific thing that's currently operating, funding, contracted, or underway. We want to know why you would review that first, what records you examine, what decision you might be prepared to make after the review. So your question is, choose one specific Flint program, project, contract, department of practice, or administrative process that you would independently review after taking office. What exactly would you examine? Who would you have to review? What records would be required? And what findings would cause you to continue, change, suspend, renegotiate, or implement? If you could identify one specific operation. We've already heard general promises of dashboards and transparency, so we're asking you, what would you actually investigate and what decision may you be prepared to make? Ms. Womack? Would you make your go first? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
All right. That is a great question. I think that one of the most important things, I got several things in mind. I think we need to conduct two types of audits. The first would be an independent financial audit, so that we can review at least the last 4 years to get a better understanding as to where money was spent, how it was spent, for what purposes. Then the second part of that audit is to go back and review and assess the programs that the money was spent on. And we will be looking at seeing if those programs were effective, if they accomplished the mission and the purpose for which the money was given. Because oftentimes money is awarded to different projects and programs and you never hear about it again. So I think to get some level ground to start on, we'll be first doing 2 audits to help us see where we are financially and then where we are program-wise. Another thing in that other audit would be to look at what contracts, what obligations do we have that will carry over into this new administration, and then decide whether we want to continue with some of those contracts and agreements or if we want to reassess things and maybe do something different.
Thank you very much. That sounds great. Ms. Anthony?
Read that one more time.
Sure, absolutely. Choose one specific Flint program, project, contract, department practice, or administrative process that you would independently review after taking office. What are you asking? We are asking what you would actually investigate and what decisions you may be prepared to make.
Well, see, let me tell you, there's a lot of things going on down there right now where we can make some decisions to get some residents and their businesses, pay some of these folks right here in Flint to do some things that go on and go on outside of Flint and getting folks. Hey, I ain't too big on getting folks and training them. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, you gotta look out for each other. It's time out. Time out. I'm tired of that. It's time out. We're gonna get this together. We gonna become a resident that want to take care. I'm a mayor that want to take care of my residents. So look after y'all. Y'all mean a lot. Why? Because you pay the bill. You pay the bill. No matter how we go, you pay the bill. You pay the mayor to be there. You pay city council to be city council. So we need to start looking out for our residents and putting the residents out there first. You know, transparency for all of this stuff, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Harrington. Thank you very much. For the audience, can any of you name one specific service, program, project, contract, or process that you believe deserves the independent verification? Just one of you. Ms. Campbell.
Garbage contract, priority.
$1 million a year
Priority contract, garbage contract, garbage contract.
Yes, I don't think a lot of people know. That's what it's called.
What did they say that again?
It's our money.
That was our,
You pay priority cash $1 million a year. And they legally extended their contract. They did not put out the year. This is what's going on. We're supposed to get our trash back in the house. We had our own garbage. We're saying, so when is that? The work is here. We need that tax rate. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. So the issue isn't whether a candidate promises, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just had a little bit more I wanted to add on that issue. I've been thinking about a 90-day plan, like the first 90 days. And so I just wanted to share some of the areas that I want to look at, investigating and auditing and trying to determine where we are. So the first one is what we've been talking about, the water infrastructure, trying to obtain documentation and look at unresolved property issues related to that. The next one is being able to audit this process of blight and demolition of vacant properties. Again, that's also connected to the water because those pipelines need to be capped off as well for places where there is no longer anyone living. So I want to assess that. I also want to look at major contracts like what we're talking about here. Maybe look at changing some of those orders and looking at how those contracts are affecting our overall budget. I also want to assess the ARPA funds and the grant process there. And finally, I want to be able to share with residents, listen to their complaints about response time. I've been hearing that. The City Hall residents are saying when they reach out, they call and ask for help, they're not getting any response. And if they do, it's very delayed, or it's people are rude, or they don't have any answers for them. So that's another area that has to be investigated and try to get a better understanding as to what's happening in City Hall in terms of how they are treating our residents when they reach out for help.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
I also want to add on to that, you know, we're not against adding new developments, but what I would like to put is that, you know, like she said, we can put residents at the table, and what I am against is developments that leave Flint residents carrying the cost while someone else makes the profit. Okay, that's what I'm against. Okay, I'm tired of that. We got to do. We gonna do better Flint. You know, and one person can't do it all. We got to get together to make it work. You know, I can't leave the residents off and act like y'all don't even exist. That's the way we was treated. We was treated like, oh, the lead should have killed you, and we ain't got time for it. You probably all mentally ill anyway from the lead. So, but here we are today, and things gonna happen, okay? Things are gonna happen, because I'm not only want to be over there, I also got people ready to pray and with me so that we can, because I believe in my Bible totally. I believe that these things can get better. There is miracles, okay? I ain't gonna.
Thank you, Ms. Harrington. Thank you very much. So the issue isn't whether a candidate promises transparency, it's whether they can name what they will examine. Identify the authority and require credible evidence, make a decision, and show residents the proof. Our final substantive question asks what personal values will guide the way that your authority is used. So our last question today is about values, faith, worldview, and constitutional duty. Before I ask this question, I want to explain why it belongs in the mayoral debate. The Constitution protects every candidate's right to hold and practice personal religious beliefs. It also requires government to serve the public without establishing a religion or denying equal protection. That means public office does not require a person to abandon faith, culture, identity, or deeply held values. It does require the ability to keep personal belief from becoming the standard that residents must meet in order to receive access, recognition, protection, services, appointments, partnerships, or opportunity from their government. So we're not asking candidates to defend or deny their faith. We're asking how they would make sure the authority of the mayor's office belongs equally to the entire city, including residents whose beliefs, identities, or lives may be very different from their own. My main question is, throughout this campaign, we've heard a great deal about honesty, openness, and transparency in government. And I will ask each of you to apply that same transparency to your own leadership. What values and beliefs would you carry most strongly to the mayor's office? What personal belief or part of your worldview would you need to watch most carefully so it does not interfere with your responsibility to serve people who do not share it? What part of yourself must remain personal so the mayor's office can truly belong to everyone? And if your faith comes first in your personal life, how would you make sure it does not become the standard by which residents receive access, recognition, protection, appointments, partnerships, services, or opportunity from city government? How would you keep those responsibilities separate while still leading with integrity and ensuring residents are treated both equitably and equally? Second.
Listen, we're talking about becoming here. It was a long thought process. A lot of things in my Bible I read, but everything in my Bible says that Jesus died on the cross for all of us. So I don't know who you are, what you did, when you done. He still died on you, he still loves you. So me becoming your mayor, if I'm there in the office, and I just want you to know this, if I'm there in the office, I have a strong belief in God. But if I'm there sitting in that office and there's a position open, and they want a gay man to do it, hello, I need that done. I ain't got time to try to figure out if you got the background to do it, you won't get that job. That's how that works out, okay? This is how this is how it got to be done. We cannot be prejudiced against anybody when we go forth. We all live in Flint. We have all sorts of people living in Flint with all different kind of backgrounds. And we got to take all that and we got to come together as one. We can do that. We just because they're going to try to kill us all, whether you can pay or not. They're going to try to kill you, okay? I'm just being truthful. Okay? They ask you, well, we're not going to go to the gay community and put no day water. We ain't going over there to the booze room. No, they put the water in everybody. Come on. We all got to buy water. We all was down there in line getting that water. And it didn't matter what color you was, who you was, where you come from. If you needed some water, they was giving you some water. So this is how I plan on running the office when I become mayor. I'm telling you, it's time to get strength. We need strength. We need strong people. All this weak stuff that they've been talking about, I'm tired of it, okay? I'm like, look at this place. This place should have been crowded. It should have been full. You know why the people ain't here? I'm going to tell you why the people ain't here. Because I was a resident for 58 years. I'm saying to myself, I can see myself sitting at home now doing this. They ain't going to do nothing but the same thing they did. I'm being truthful with you. I ain't never
Thank you very much, Ms. Anthony.
As for me and my campaign, I've been following three main values, which are transparency, integrity, and unity. I believe that God has given me a gift to be a bridge builder, to help people to work together, to collaborate, to come to some mutual understanding. And that's one of the main reasons why I feel that God called me to run for mayor at this point in time. Now, my faith is important to me. As many of you all know, I was a pastor. I'm an ordained elder in my church. But my personal faith, the main thing that I ascribe to, I say I'm a red letter Christian. That means I follow after the teachings of Jesus, and one of his primary teachings was love. And so I believe if I lead with love, I won't do anyone harm. Right? I'll be honest in all of my dealings with people. I will treat people fairly and equitably. So I believe that my faith is, the principle of love is really the guiding thing that will help me to do a great job as mayor. But I realize, like I said, everybody doesn't have the same belief system as I do. And that's okay, because I think that's a part of my faith as well, that people have the right, the freedom to choose. Right? That nothing should be forced upon anybody. And regardless of what people choose, if it's different from what I choose, I still charge to love them. That's what I'm required to do, is to love them, to treat them fairly with respect, and to care for them as best I can. And that's the role of mayor, that I would be a protector of all residents in the city, and I would look out for our residents' best interests. Now, because I'm human, just like anybody else, I can have blind spots. I may have areas that I'm weak in, things that I'm not aware of, or I don't have a clear understanding of. So I think it's important that I be a leader who surrounds myself with people who are wiser than I am, people who are smarter than I am, people who are more knowledgeable about various issues, so that they can speak into my life and they can share their wisdom with me and help me to make sound judgments and good decisions. And so I'm not afraid of criticism. If somebody gives me a critique, I accept that and I look for the truth in it to see what I can do to make myself better, to make myself a stronger candidate and a stronger person in general. So I will always be open to hearing what the community has to say and to listening to their voices, because even if they criticize me and have something negative to say, I know that's only to make me better and to make our city as a whole stronger.
Excellent. Thank you very much, ladies. Those are both really great answers, and I honestly don't have a rebuttal for you on that. I do want to ask the audience in a short phrase, where should a public official's personal beliefs never determine a resident's access to city government? Anything that comes to mind for you right off the gate?
Don't know what you're saying.
Sure. Where should a public official's personal beliefs never be able to determine a resident's access to city government?
Well, all everywhere.
Thank you.
Everywhere.
Thank you. Yes. What's your reason?
Be accessible to the public. Right now, you gotta go like bodyguards to people see the mayor.
Yeah.
I said, I think
That's
part
it.
of the accessible to the people right now, you have to go to bodyguards, basically, to see the mayor. Yeah, to see the mayor. Oh, yeah, open the town and see the mayor.
That's right.
They didn't have a
Yeah.
you know, you walk with those stones, one of those neighborhood family in Ontario. But yeah, you gotta be accessible to the people. Don't put you bigger than an alternate home.
That's right.
Very nice.
Amen. Thank you for that. Absolutely. So personal values may guide honesty, compassion, responsibility, and service, but public access must rest on neutral laws and written standards, not whether a resident shares an official's religion, politics, identity, relationship, culture, identity, or personal values. It requires the discipline to keep personal belief from becoming the price of access to government. That concludes today our 4 questions for our debate. I would like to give the candidates each a couple minutes to say a little something about why they're here and what to look forward to. I would like to say that I want to recognize the people and places that made this mayoral panel series possible. I want to thank the Higher Quality of Life Ministries Vision Center for welcoming our first community conversation, McCree Theater for hosting our second panel, and of course Kews Korner for opening this space to us today. I want to thank the candidates who participated throughout the series, Ms. Rashonda Shani Womack, Ms. Linda Anthony, thank you both for being at 2 of our 3 events. Ms. Marjai Owens, Councilwoman Tanya Burns, and unfortunately we were not graced with the presence of Mr. Sheldon Ely, so we do wish him the best of luck. That is part of why conversations like this matter. We also thank the Michigan Times for coming to all 3 events and the Flint for covering our event as well. That helps preserve the conversations for residents who can't be here. Voting is only one part of civic participation, so please use the official Michigan Department of State Election Resources or contact the City of Flint clerk through official city channels for ballot information. Please stay connected with organizations working on issues affecting our communities, including, and not limited to, End Gun Violence in Michigan, No Detention Center in Michigan, Clean Water Action, the Michigan Immigrants' Rights Center, the Flint Alliance for Immigrants' Rights, the HIP Caucus, the League of Women Voters, PSL and PSL Detroit, Rank My Vote for Michigan, and the First People Power Flint. These organizations do different work and do not necessarily share the same views, but we're sharing them so residents know where they can learn, organize, volunteer, find resources, and participate. People Power Flint will prepare locally for the anticipated 2028 ranked choice voting effort. Over the next year, we will need volunteers for training, voter education, petition preparation, canvassing, community tables, calls, day work, transportation, and accessibility support. We will also continue watching Flint's use of flock, license plate reader cameras, and related surveillance technology, including ICE and immigration activity, and will share verified information when the City Council or agenda includes funding expansion, policy, or contract action. People Power Flint is again nonpartisan, and we believe that your decision belongs to you as you evaluate what you hear. Make sure you're verifying who has the authority, what evidence is examined, what trade-off is being accepted, what proof are you receiving, what is the deadline, and what happens if the facts don't match the promise. Democracy isn't something we visit once every election. It's something we build by showing up, learning how decisions are made, asking questions, supporting one another, and staying involved after the votes are counted. I'd like to give you both a few minutes now to hear England speak.
I appreciate you all coming out to this debate to hear and understand where we're going. Okay. My biggest concern is police accountability for police. Okay. I get a call this morning where the police, to make a long story short, police pull over a couple and tell them to get out of the car and take their gun and go down this girl's back with the gun. That can't be tolerated. And people ask me, well, did they get a name and all this? I want police to pull up and hand you a card with their name on it. Start handing out here, but my name is this being the A, B, and C. Okay, because we need accountability for this stuff. People just doing what they want to do and how they want to do it. No, it's not. No. Matter of fact, we need more police in there. They got you going into the courthouse. A lot of people going to court. And guess what they doing? You got to go to court, come back outside, run out there, see if it. What kind of foolishness is that? For people you care about. You don't need to know. We don't need that no more. We don't make that disappear. There's enough problems trying to get to court. Well, long trying to find a place to park and you got to pay.
Leaders don't work. DDA, Downtown Development Authority. Yeah.
See, this is we and your talk that's paying taxes. And I'm tired of that too. If I'm paying you, I'm paying you for that or whatever. My taxes, I pay taxes. My house paid for it, so I gotta pay taxes. Okay? I'm paying you taxes. But I don't get no. I can't. I actually paid for that land and that water. Actually, every year I pay them taxes. You pay them taxes too in some way to show you the water. If you don't own your house, you pay them taxes. I guarantee you. And see, some things we just need to say. We need to get together as a resident where we care for one another, sit down and say, listen, we need to deal with this. Because see, I don't know all the problems. I don't know everything that's going on. But if we get together as one and somebody here want to hear you, then you feel more comfortable about going. And we put in time, put in meetings time. We can have a meeting at this time. Can you have a meeting at this time? Because I got to work. And one other thing I want to talk about is we all know that $68,500 to keep a man in prison and stay with him. $68,500 a year. Let me tell y'all, black men can't make that much money free. Come on. We got to look into some things. And I'm not prejudiced, but I was told by a lawyer once, he said, if you don't change the judicial system, every time your black man walks into this system, he gonna be guilty. He's guilty as soon as they look at him. It's time to do something. It's time to do something different. It's time to move to a better way. I want our men, not just black men, white men too, and they be down too. I've seen a lot of them just look like the world and beat them up. It's time out for that. It's time to raise back up, get our men back up on their feet, and move forward. Not leaving nobody behind. Thank you.
Thank you all for taking time out to be here today and to share in this debate, this conversation that we've had. As we close, I do want to share with you just a few points from my 4-point plan for when I take office as the next mayor of the city.
There you go.
My first priority, my slogan for my campaign is, with WOMAC, we will. And so with WOMAC, we will make Flint safer. And that is through a community safety initiative that prioritizes prevention. The goal is to begin to address violence before it happens, instead of showing up on the back end. This issue of violence in our city has many different facets to it, and it's something that is going to take a whole of community approach, a whole of government approach to adequately address it and to begin to stem the violence. We've seen this go on for decades in our community, and we can't arrest our way out of it. We do need more police. We need involvement of EMS, police, fire. We need also social workers and counselors as well involved in this process of preventing violence. We need violence interrupters in our community. We need mentorship. We need gainful employment. We know violence is connected to poverty, to people having income insecurity. So those are all things that kind of encompass the work that I plan to do, but the main goal is to create a Flint that's safer for us to live in. The next thing I hope to do is to make Flint stronger, and that is through education and through support and wraparound programs. That's a part of this whole community approach that I just mentioned. We would focus on investing in education programs, literacy, mental health, special ed, and other programs that provide pathways for young people away from violence and away from the justice system. The third thing, I would love to make Flint more accountable, and that is restoring trust in our city leadership through transparency, professionalism, and being responsible with the position, with the power, with the money that has been entrusted to us as city leaders. The last thing I want to do is to help to make Flint more attractive. And we make Flint more attractive by creating good paying jobs, paying living wages, jobs that have benefits, by having good school systems. That makes your city attractive. But also by having the services that residents need to survive and thrive in this city. And so that is all a part of my goal, my mission. And please remember, if you have not voted yet, vote for Rashonda Womack. You have from today until August 4th to vote. Well, you can vote early until next Sunday. I'm sorry, from today until next Sunday you can vote early. Then after that, you have to show up on Tuesday, August 4th to cast your vote. But I just appreciate you all being here and being interested in learning more about the candidates and what we would do if given the opportunity to serve you. All right, we will with Womack.
I'm a write-in, Linda Anthony. I am a write-in. Write my name in, it would be Linda Anthony. You gotta write me in. I am legally a write-in. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you both for the show. I want to remind people, as we said earlier, that early voting is taking place today, up until August 2nd. So if you'd like to know your early precinct location, please go to mission.gov/vote, precinct location, or you can go to vote411.org by the legal and voters to find out early voting information. Voting is important. I'm glad that everyone's here. We want to make sure that all your votes matter. And we want to make sure that all the information laid out. So thank you for being here, and thank you all for taking time to be here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the 28 with the Joint Great Politics, and you can find more on Instagram and Facebook on Flint Happenings. I want to thank every candidate, resident, volunteer, former vendor, venue, journalist, and community partner who made this series possible. Please stop and say hello to Vitamin G Tacos by the door, or got Johnny Jewel Prince. Check those out. She's also a business owner, so have a conversation, get to know somebody. And stay and speak with the candidates if you like, and Kews Korner, get to know Tori and Dale. They're great people. Thank you once again, and we look forward to finding out who's going to become the next mayor of Flint. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great evening.
And go blue. And go blue. I'm getting tacos. Yes. All right. I'm sorry. My tablet? No. Oh, it's still on? Yeah.
Thank you.